How to get mature and explicit content skills through the Amazon Skills certification process. I'm Brian from Alpha Voice, if you don't know. Okay, so recently I was on VUX World podcast and talking about censorship and Alpha Voice, and essentially the discussion went into a direction that talked about they're not allowing particular types of content when you talk to computers, and it was a big concern of mine when in this new computing age of talking in voice tech. And one of the points that came up in it was that the skills should follow the laws, and we have legal laws in countries specifically for that reason, and that Amazon really shouldn't block skills in the certification process for skills that have mature as explicit content. And we're not talking about like hate speech or anything like that. We're talking about like a comedy podcast. Alpha Voice converts podcast into skills, and basically we had a comedy podcast and a client that had a explicit mature content. Well, it turns out you can get it through the certification process, but only in certain countries. Now, I want to talk about the podcast for a second because I had a bit of frustration, weeks and weeks of trying to like push these skills through and get these podcast skills approved by Alexa. And I was getting vague feedback. I didn't really understand what was going on. Basically, we're just saying mature content is not allowed at this time, etc., etc. With that, I knew that there was other mature skills in their app store, in their skills store there. So I did some research, found some skills with mature content, read the content documentation about how and where there should be particular types of content, and they reserve the right to refrain certain content in certain countries, and then it clicked with me. So if there aren't mature content skills, and and the most logical thing is like they're probably following the laws of the land, why don't I turn off the skill for every single country in the world and just have it for the United States, the UK, and Germany? So here's the pro tip. If you want to get your skill with mature content and explicit content passed, you have to release it in just the United States, United Kingdom, and Germany. Now there's probably other countries where you can release it, but right now I know that for a fact you can release mature content as a skill under these countries, and other countries I'm not sure of. So it would be cool if we got some feedback from Amazon on which countries allow mature content, which countries don't allow mature content. But essentially, that's how you can release your skill with mature content. So with that frustration, I just want to pull it back and say, hey, thank you, Amazon, for pushing out the skill and following the laws of the land of each country, and straightforward protecting me from putting out mature content in a country where it's illegal. And so I just wanted to say that, and thanks. And if you have come across this issue, or you have a skill with mature content in the US, post it below. I'd love to see your skills as well that you have posting out there. So post your skills below, and I'll reply and make some comments on that as well. Thanks.